name is Rituparna. Welcome to the channel. Today's video is a reading update of what all books I have read so far in 2023. Till now, 2023 has been going really strong reading wise. I am glad. I have taken out the Kindle Unlimited subscription for a whole year, which cost me around 1800 rupees for the whole year. I use the app on my iPad to read books, and also I buy sometimes books from the Kindle store as well. Of late I have been really enjoying using my Kindle because right now, as you can see, the bookshelf is full and I don't really want to spend a lot on buying physical copies because we are actually running out of storage space. Now let me take you through all the books that I have read so far. The first book of this year was a book called The Art of Racing in the Rain. The book cover will be on your screens. Now this book, actually I found it through another book that I was reading, that is I Came Upon a Lighthouse by Shantanu Naidu, where he talks about his time spent working with Ratan Tata very closely. I have uploaded a mini review of this book, you can check it out. Now coming to The Art of Racing in the Rain. It's a very nice, very breezy, very good easy read, I would say, that I started off my new year with. This book is from the perspective of a dog, which makes it really different from many of the books that I have read so far. The owner of this dog is a race car driver, and then he has his family, he gets married, so it is not only about driving or cars or his career, but all about his family and everything else. Now, the perspective of the dog is very interesting because it is very human-like. There are emotions, there is grief, sadness, joy, and so much of understanding that comes. This book will make you cry, this book will make you happy, and if you have a pet at home, this book will make you want to go and hug them. Absolutely enjoyable read. You can go ahead and check it out. There is also a movie which is made on this book as well. It's an enjoyable movie. I think it will be available on any OTT platform. You can also check that out as well. The next book that I read is a non-fiction. This is The Richest Man in Babylon. Now this is a very small book. I got this book from one of those wheelers which are there in the railway station when I was traveling last year, and I was like, okay, in the new year I want to start. The first non-fiction should be something about money and financial planning and so on. It's a very easy book. It's very non-complicated. It does not have any jargons or anything like that you will struggle to keep it up with. And as I said, because it's a short book, you can easily read it. My only complaint with the book is that even though some of the lessons which are covered in the book is something that we already know, the other bigger problem is that it's very repetitive in nature. So I feel that the author keeps repeating the same thing again and again, that you have to save a part of your money, that you have to invest and don't blindly invest your money and all of that. So I think it became very repetitive and boring at one point, but otherwise, yes, very sound advice. This book was written many years ago, but still, very much of the advice that is given in the book is actually very relatable. So yes, you can go ahead and check this out. Next up, I read a book by Mary Andrew. So Mary Andrew is an illustrator and artist, and she has written two books. I have read both of them. The first one that I want to talk about is Am I There Yet? So Am I There Yet? This book is about growing up pains, how it is to be adulting officially, and very beautifully illustrated, such beautiful narration and storytelling. She covers about grief, pain, loss, as I said, growing up, adulting, having a career, having a job, a love life, how is it to be settling down, how it is to be traveling the world, all of that. Very beautiful book. I purchased it on the Kindle app, and I feel that it's such a book that you can visit again and again. That's the, I think, speciality of this book. So yes, I would highly recommend a 5-star rating of this book from my side. The other book of Mary Andrew that I read is called My Inner Sky. This also is about her own life, lessons she has learned. Again, very beautiful illustrations, very nicely, very easy to read book. She talks about having this disease which affected her nerves, and she was not able to move properly and draw, write, all of that. So that book covers a lot of these paths and all these struggles as well. It also covers a lot of things about her artist journey as well. So yes, you can go ahead and check that out. So it was a very easy, again very easy, simple language, very easy to navigate through the book, and I really enjoyed it. The next book I read is by T.J. Klune, that is Under the Whispering Door. Now I bought this book on the 1st of January when we went to a bookstore to check out some stationery, some pens and all for my husband, and I just picked it up. I was like, the title and everything sounds very interesting, so let me see what is this about. So this is a LGBTQ themed book, and it talks about grief, death, passing on, all of that. It's kind of like a science fiction fantasy where there is like this whole world of ghosts, and not exactly ghosts, but people who have passed on and how it is and what it is and all of that, all about second chances and everything. Very enjoyable, very nice. I think a lot of books don't really talk about grief or passing on or death, loss, all of that. This book covered all of that, and it's really nice. It's really good to read. I enjoyed reading it a lot. This was one of my first book from T.J. Klune. I want to read another one of his book which is like really famous, that is A House on the Cerulean Sea, and let's see if we happen to do that this year. Then I read a comic book that was Cyanide and Happiness. Now the thing with this was that I read comics, right? I follow a lot of artists, illustrators on Instagram, so they put up these comics or short stories like in the form of a carousel or small animations and all of that, and I like reading it. It's enjoyable, but I don't know, Cyanide and Happiness, I did not enjoy it at all. A few comics were good, but it's very dark humor, and I don't know, it was just not my cup of tea. I think with comics, the way I saw it was like, I read like a few comics every like other day, and that is how it was. You can't really, I don't think I can at least sit down with like a book and just keep on reading comics after comics after comic. It does not help. So yeah, not much enjoyable for me, and I don't know, just didn't work out, not my cup of tea. Next I read two fantasy fictions which are a retelling of the fairy tales that we so well know. That these were Taste of the Poison and Kiss of the Selkie. So these two are based on Snow White and Ariel the mermaid story. It's a retelling of these stories, but in a much more modern way, you can say, where the protagonist is not some bechari female who has to be saved and all of that. She's strong-willed, she's courageous, she's brave, she has a mind of her own. Really enjoyed. She has this whole series of retelling of fairy tales in which she covers Beauty and the Beast. There is Cinderella. I think Sleeping Beauty is next, so I'm really waiting for that. That releases this year, so we will see. So very enjoyable. I got it in Kindle Unlimited. It was under the subscription, so I did not have to like go ahead and purchase the book separately. Very enjoyable. If you like fantasy, and you can go ahead and check it out. I think she did a really commendable job. It's a very enjoyable read. You will understand that it is inspired from those fairy tales, but still the storyline is quite different and quite modern. I think it's a very contemporary kind of a twist, and very enjoyable. Then I read another non-fiction, that is War of Art. So War of Art is about understanding fear and understanding like why we can't get over our resistance to do anything creative or anything passionate that you want to follow through. I think the book has really good sound advice. It talks about things that are very true, things that we do, and calls us out on those things and how to prevent them, how to cope with them. I really enjoyed it. This book is part of a series, I think, but I have not read it. I have read this book on the standalone, but yes, I would highly recommend. If any of you are artists out there, any kind of artists, whether it is painting, drawing or writing or music, dancing, any of it, go ahead and check out this book. The next book that I read was Wild by Cheryl Strayed. So Wild is one of my favorite movies. Reese Witherspoon is the one who plays Cheryl Strayed in the movies, and I saw it on this Kindle Unlimited and I was like, I have to read it. I have not read it ever. and beautiful storytelling. The movie does quite a lot of justice to the actual story. So Cheryl Strait, this woman, hiked a Pacific trail, which is in the USA alone. This is some thousand some kilometers. She hiked that trail, and it is her memoir, you can say. She has written other books as well, and very beautiful storytelling kind of a narration she has. Very enjoyable. She talks about what all she sees on the trail, the kind of people, the kindness of people, the bravery, the courage of people. It did get a bit boring in the middle because I am not really familiar with a lot of geography of the United States, and sometimes I would just lose myself in all the states. And yes, happy reading to you guys. Do let me know in the comment section below what are you reading. Please suggest me some more books, and I'll see you again. Till then, stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Bye.